Hi, everybody, and
Hey,
welcome to the Microsoft Pulse, where Tom and I, Tamara, will be taking you through the Microsoft roadmap today to tell you what's in development and how it's going to affect you, what is rolling out, meaning that it's coming out to tenants onesie twosies, and launched, meaning it should be in a tenant near you right now, and then canceled if we have any canceled.
and we do.
So, oh, wonderful. Tom, would you like to get us started today?
Sure. So there were a number of items this week I thought were really interesting in the in development area. First one is Microsoft Copilot, video drafting in Copilot powered by Clipchamp. This one sounds really freaking cool. Clipchamp brings video creation skills to Copilot. Type your prompt, and Clipchamp will write a bespoke script, source high quality stock footage, and assemble a video project with music, voiceover, text overlays, and transitions. Open your video project draft in the Clipchamp app to continue to edit, export, and share. This video feature is great for informational videos, video messaging, how-to videos, demo, and video presentations. I think this is just freaking awesome, actually. Now, how it ends up working out could be somewhat less than what I have in my mind, but I think this is going to be great for people having to make short informational videos or, training videos, and to be able to get like the voiceover stuff and things like that. That is just really cool. That's due out in September, and it is coming to the worldwide tenants, so all the government tenants. You may have to wait a little bit for that one. And then a couple other ones that seemingly are related, and they are SharePoint using data access governance to understand the tenant's current permission landscape. And the second one was Site Access Review offers a way for SharePoint tenants to empower site owners using data access governance. DAG. Um, Not knowing a whole lot about DAG, this is kind of the first time I've heard of it. This is really going to be great for people who are working with Copilot because it's going to go in and start doing analysis of your SharePoint permissions. So DAG now provides a report that will reflect the latest state of permissions in the entire tenant and return sites that have a greater count of permissioned users than the SharePoint admin specified number. So this will be a good way to say, oh, this one appears to be wide open for everybody. Is that really appropriate for this site? And it takes various things into account when it does that. The second one was the admins can use the DAG reports to discover potential oversharing within their tenant. Once discovered, the admins can now request that site owners review permissions using the specific context of that report from within the report. They can track all such requests raised from a central location. So basically, this whole thing appears to be instead of a kind of a roll your own to review your sites, it looks like Microsoft is actually going to give you the tools to be able to go in and, consistently and, with a framework, have the people who own these sites actually go in, review things, track back, and so you don't have to try to do a roll your own on all that. I'm really looking forward to see what this means. Unfortunately, I'm thinking DAG is probably one of those premium features, but I'd be really interested to see what this one is going to end up being. Again, due in September, and it's coming to worldwide. Tamara, what do you have?
Well, Viva got some love this week.
Yes, they did.
Microsoft Viva list based forms card for Viva Connections dashboard. So, this feature will allow operators to add a card for any form or survey created for data collection on the Viva Connections dashboard for attention and quick action. Then we have Viva Amplify, which is copy a publication within a campaign. I thought that was great. Gone are the days when you must rewrite. This is just perfectly written. I love this. Gone are the days where you must rewrite or manually copy and paste content from an old publication to a newly drafted one to reuse. Soon in Viva Amplify, you'll be able to copy publications within an existing campaign, and in just a few clicks, this new feature streamlines the Connect creation process. enabling communicators to easily reuse existing content across SharePoint, Outlook, and Teams, including all channel-specific customizations and related audiences, saving you time and effort. Now, this is coming out in August, and it's worldwide. So, not the DoD, not the higher levels. And then Viva Learning use the Egress API to provide learner access to My Learning records. So the Egress API can be used by learners to view their My Learning records and corresponding course details. And then finally, we've got a couple for Viva Goals. Copilot assisted catch up on important work-related goals, and Copilot assisted summarization and catch up of goals. Now, that catch up of goals is not due out until June of 2025, but the catch up on imported work-related goals, as opposed to the summarization, is coming out in April of 2025. So just a skosh before that. And it's going to help users in finding and catching up on documents, meetings, chats, emails, and work-related to all or a subset of goals in view. Tom, did you have anything else in development you wanted to talk about?
Just one. It's just one of these little things that if you're used to using this, is probably going to be really nice. And that is Outlook fonts in Outlook for iOS and Android. We heard feedback from you, our customers, and are adding support for choosing fonts while you compose in Outlook for iOS and Android. There's also improved support for fonts in the reading pane. I know usually when you're dealing with a mobile device, it's like your font is whatever your phone is set to, even if you have that kind of flexibility. Now you're going to be able to choose like, oh, I want to use the Aptos font for these things in Outlook. So I think that'll be really nice for people to see and choose what it is they're looking at when it comes to the font for their emails. So that'll be good. And that's really about the last thing I have on the in development side.
Great. Let's roll on to rolling out then.
Okay, I see what you did there.
I'm so glad. Microsoft Teams reactions in town halls. This is a premium feature, but participants can use reactions like, love, applause, laugh, surprise. No negatives. I'd like to point that out. Okay. I really think they should have a thumbs down like Caesar.
That would be nice.
To express themselves during a town hall, and reactions appear as continuous stream on the side of the screen. And then OneDrive, Copilot in OneDrive. So Copilot in OneDrive, available on OneDrive for the web, will allow you to ask questions and get information from files in your OneDrive without having to open the files. It will also summarize one or multiple files. Copilot in OneDrive will work on the following follow types: Doc, DocX, Fluid, Loop, PowerPoint, PowerPoint Template, Excel, PDF, ODT, ODP, RTF, ASPX, RTF, Text, HTM, and HTML. So Copilot in OneDrive does require a Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 license. Tom, what did you find that was interesting in rolling out?
So a lot of these I know we've talked about in the past, and they're finally now into the rolling out stage. One of them, which may make a huge difference on the amount of storage that you have taken up with your videos that you have, that is in Microsoft Stream, changes to the version history for Stream videos. The way it sits prior to this is anytime you went out and changed, like, the metadata to the video or video title adjustments or the whole bit, it basically save a whole new version of it out there, which, if you're dealing with a 250 gig video or meg video, that adds up really quickly if you're making all these little minor changes. Well, now what's going to happen is Stream is going to look at and say, if they're just minor little changes based on that kind of stuff, these changes are not going to trigger new versions of things. So that will reduce the amount of storage your videos are taking, especially if you do a lot of changes to things. Now, if you went out and actually clipped things, removed stuff on the front and the back, yeah, that's going to create a new version. But just metadata changes, things like that, putting chapters in, that's not going to create additional versions. So that's going to be really nice in terms of helping to keep your storage costs a little bit more under control, which is good. Microsoft Teams shared tab in chat. So the Files tab is now shared. The shared tab shows all the files and links that were sent in the chat, making it easier to find them all in one place. Channels are not affected by this storage or this change. So again, being that that's usually what you were dealing with in the files thing, it's like things that I've shared, it's going to be easier to find those now. And then the last one that I'll mention is Outlook Time Suggestions Update. So they're improving, your mileage may vary, how suggested times are shown when scheduling a meeting. We're removing the automatically shown suggested times, and instead, you'll need to enable a switch, find a time, if you want to see suggested times. If you enable the toggle, the new availability view on time suggestion tiles will make it easier to find a suitable time with more clarity on everyone's availability. This update will be available in the new Outlook for Windows, hashtag, and the web-based version. So that's rolling out this month, and it probably will be in a client near you really, really soon.
All right, Microsoft Teams webinar creation and registration APIs. Customers now have the additional capabilities to manage webinars, namely the ability to create, update, and delete webinars, as well as register attendees to existing webinars using a new set of APIs. And this is coming out to the worldwide tenant. Also, show chat info in Microsoft Teams. So chat users can have access to contextual information, including members, pinned messages, shared files and links, and entry point to contextualize search from this canvas. And that's coming out to GCC, World Wide Web, DoD, GCC High. Everybody's getting some love on that one. And the last one in development, or not in development, but rolling out that I'd like to share with you is Microsoft Teams Show, Hide, Discover feed. So you will now have the flexibility to show or hide, turn on or off, the Discover feed. Users can access this new toggle from the General Settings section. And that is coming out in August of 2024. It's rolling out, so it should be there coming soon to a worldwide tenant near you.
The thing that I like about that one is that, if you really like the Discover feed, great. The link's like right at the top of your activity feed. You click it. Hey, here are things that came from this person who you might be interested in. But if you're not used to using it or you don't like to use it, that's like an inch or two of space that it's taking up at the top of your activity feed for no use whatsoever. So being able to turn that off, I think, is a really good step.
Great. Then moving on to Launch. Tom, what do you like in Launched?
So the one that I really want to get some time to look at today or tomorrow, and that is Microsoft Forms. Define criteria for validating responses to open text questions on Microsoft Form. So if you just said, hey, this particular question in my survey is going to be a text field, but I'm asking them to put in an email address, but you really had no control over the fact, did they really put in an email address or did they just blow it off and do something different? Well, now you're going to be able to set specific requirements for answers for open text questions. You can ensure the answer is an email address, a URL, contains certain keywords, must be a number or text, etc. So I really want to play with that and see exactly how much they can allow you to do and what kind of error message you get if it says, hey, it needs to be an email address, and you decide to put in yes, no. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It was apparently launched in July, and it came out to the worldwide version of Forms. So look for that in a tenant near you.
Great. Microsoft Teams webinar presenter orderability on the event page. So now you can put your presenters actually in the order that they're going to speak, or like your headliner at the top. Before, we didn't have this option, and it was just willy-nilly. So this option can be found under the presenter bio section of the webinar setup dialog box. And that came out to the World Wide Web and GCC. So GCC High and DoD, we're going to have to hang on to our hats for a little bit. And then, Tom, did you have anything else in launch you wanted to touch on?
Nope, I think everything else is not worth mentioning.
Okay. Let's talk about what is canceled. Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal, Communication Compliance, Detect Managerial Harassment. This one we just talked about last week. So that one has been canceled. The ultrasound proximity join admin controls for Teams rooms or windows, it has been replaced by another item. So don't worry about that. It's still coming. You'll still be able, the IT admins will be able to use XML files to enable 2 proximity join settings for Teams rooms on Windows. Then we've got Word, automatic summary of documents on file, open in Word. And that's when you open a document, Copilot will generate a summary of the Word document. The item has been removed because it was a duplicate. And then the automatic summary of documents on a file open in Word, which is the exact same thing as what I just talked about, was replaced by the exact same item. So people just got excited and triple dipped, but now we're okay and leveled up. So that's all the news that we have for you. Tom, did you have any parting thoughts?
Nope, I think that's it. Maybe, hopefully, some of you will be attending the TechCon conference next week. If so, in DC. If so, feel free to look up the female version of this duo that's talking to you today, because she'll be presenting. I won't. I'm just going as her arm candy.
Nailing it.
Nailing it. So yeah, if you're in the DC area and you happen to be at that conference, drop in and say hi to Tamara.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. All right. You all have a great week. Bye now.
Bye all.